And we are back again with another prior repair attempt on a PlayStation 4 Slim. Let's go under the microscope and show you this disaster. Mic check, mic check. Okay. Let me make my picture a little smaller. We don't need it this big. Alright. This is what we got. Loads and loads of flux. And then the HDMI port they tried to solder is not even connected down to the board. All the pins are like a few hairlines. All the pins are a few hairlines over. You can put a whole tweezer under them. My tweezer is bent, but you get what I'm saying. So let's go ahead and take this off. Clean all this flux. Let's go to the back side. And it's also a mess. So let's go ahead and take care of this. I will need to warm up this motherboard just to remove some of this flux out the way. I'm gonna warm it up and clean it. Just gonna warm up this area. Way too much flux. That whatever flux that is, it's too thick. That flux is too thick. Just gonna clean around this area because I'm gonna need a clean area to work. Okay, this port is not even in, is it? Nope. Okay, we'll fix all of that. We will fix all of that. Alright, I'm gonna flip it around real quick just to do this side. Okay, so we're done. Let's go ahead and add our flux, just a little bit here and there. Spread that around. And let's remove this HDMI port of his. It's still new, but we're not gonna use it. I'm gonna remove it, dump it, and get one of mine after we clean this whole area. And it's taken too long, so I think he was soldering with factory solder. Oh, there you go. Let's get the iron. Oh shit. Let's get the iron with the flux. With the wick. And let's go ahead and rook these. Alright, 1 second. Let me cut this. Alright, still got one more. That solder is floating off the back side to the top side. So let's wick it all off with this wick. And then we can... That napkin is burning. Go ahead and flip it and try to wick it from this side. Finally, that was some factory solder on there. That wasn't dude solder, because that took forever to come out. And this is what I do. Every time you clean and you put flux, I didn't even put flux on this side, but you still go ahead and clean it. Then on this side, let's finish cleaning. Thank God I don't have to jump nothing. Before I do all of that, I want to make sure his filters are good and everything else is good to go. I'm going to go ahead and get my multimeter. One sec. Let me just clean this area. And let's get the multimeter out. Just test these filters in diode mode and then resistance. Alright, so diode mode there. One second. Alright, we got 0, 4 here, so let's make sure it's going through. Alright, 0, 4, 0, 4, 0, 4, 0, 4, 0, 4, 0, 4. Just checking these filters, making sure they're doing their job. Okay, the diode mode reading is good on them. I just want to make sure they're not crossing, because that happens a lot when the chip is bad. Alright, that's the beep. But we don't got no beep. Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and install this new port. That should do the job. Let me go grab one. Alright, got our new port. Let me grab my mic. I always forget my mic when I get up. Especially when I get a customer that I have to come right back down. That's something. Okay. I'm gonna clean this area. I don't like it, okay? I don't like the way these pads look, so I'm gonna just go over them with the iron and then wick them real quick so they can have my solder. You see, it's not even catching solder. You see that? Yeah, let's clean them. Make sure they all catch solder, and then we know they're ready to go. So let me wick them. Just a quick run. I like my port to sit flat before I solder. And wick. Okay. And let me clean it. Remove that old flux. He had so much flux up here because he works and he doesn't clean the flux as he goes. Nothing wrong with using a lot of flux, but make sure you clean every time. Alright, so they look better to me. So let's get the port in. I'm going to hold the port down while I solder the pins real quick. That's a lot of what's his name. I'm going to just put a little bit here. Clean my iron. And run whatever solder we have across the rest of these pins. We're going to have to wick some of it too. Okay. Let me just wick this corner because that's a lot. Then I'll spread whatever we have around. Okay. I'm gonna just keep spreading it and cleaning until this little, we have one little, there you go, that's it. I'm gonna clean and then go on the other side. Okay, we do have a little bridge right here, so let me add just a little flux. And there you go. That's the pins, no bridges, everything is soldered down. So let's flip it around and add some solder to these anchor legs. Let's go ahead and get our flux. All right. Need to make sure that the solder floats in. Let's do the other side, and then we can look at it and make sure solder floats all the way through. Let me add some flux. And let me run over it one more time. All right. Let's go ahead and clean, and we can check the other side out. And it is ready. You can see how solder floated all the way through, and everything is connected in its spot. No bridges, no nothing. Everything is solid. And we just cleaned everything so the system can go back clean to the customer. Solder floated up here. The filters were good. Let's go ahead and clean some of this flux. That's dust, I'm not gonna worry about that. Alright. And that's it. Let's go ahead and reassemble real quick so we can test it. I don't have my camera hooked up, but you can go ahead and watch me from here. Or I can probably hook it up real quick. Only if it works. 1 second. It may not work. Oh, I guess it is working.